What's going on, everybody? Welcome in. And we're coming out the gates with an echo. Brian, get out.
Get out.
I'll be back.
Kick rocks.
Kick rocks.
We literally talked for 10 minutes before the show and did not have that problem. But as you know, Brian just left. So I'm Justin Adams, as you all know. I'm going to bring our names up here in a second when he gets back on the screen. But welcome to the Husker Gutter call-in show live. If y'all have not been here before, which I'm sure most of you have, we got Bone Leg Corn-Fed hopping in here. Chris, what's going on, brother? I appreciate you hopping in here, man. Huss my cob. We got Brian with us, and we got a special guest that we're about to bring on, a brand new Cornhusker that we're excited to welcome to the fan base and to the channel. So, Brian, first off, how are you doing today?
I am doing good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. So first things first, I'm going to drop the call. Well, I'm going to drop the call link in here. Give us a little bit before you click that. We're going to talk with Jamal here for just a little bit, ask him some questions. Then we're going to have y'all call in and do your thing. So without further ado, let me just go ahead and bring the man of the hour onto the show. Jamal, what's going on, brother? I appreciate you hopping on here with us to talk some Husker football.
What's up? I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, man.
Thanks
So just real quick, I just want to kind of, get your feeling, how's everything been since the commitment? I know it's recent, but how you feeling? How was the process? Did you feel, good about everything going to decision? Just give me a feel for how you felt mentally going into it now that that's completed.
Yeah, I mean, I feel good. I'm happy with my decision, definitely. Especially like we have the 26 class, we have a lot of pieces coming in, going up to the decision. Not gonna lie, I was going back and forth between two schools, this one and another one. But, ultimately I feel like Nebraska was the best choice for me. So I'm committed to Nebraska.
Love to hear it. And what were some of the things that you liked about Nebraska in particular that you would say, or some of the things that stood out that put it kind of up there? I don't want to say what are some things that were better than the other school necessarily, but what are some of the things that made it stand out?
Definitely gotta say the facilities. The facilities are like second to none. I mean,
yeah,
I've been to a lot of places. I still haven't seen nothing like it. Another thing, I didn't just choose for stuff on the field, off the field. They have Gus, Mr. Gus. He helps with like player development, turns you into a man, things that can get you, just to be a better man. So like I like the stuff that they have on and off the field that can help me develop as a person and as a football player.
For sure. Brian?
Jamal, when Nebraska started recruiting you, were they a program you were considering at a high level early on, or did that take time for that to develop for you to consider Nebraska?
Oh no, I mean, yeah, pretty much from the beginning. I mean, they were at the top of my list pretty much. I'm not gonna lie.
What excites you about playing for Coach E.J. Barthel?
Me and him have a great relationship, and he's put a lot of people in the NFL, and that's ultimately where I'm trying to go. So, that just helps me out. He's proven to develop young men to be great football players. So, I think I can, think he can help me get to where I need to go.
You excited to play in Dana's offense?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I really didn't get a chance to sit down with Dana at first, but whenever I went up there for my official visit, got to sit down with him, talk to him, talk ball with him, see his mind. 'Cause like at first I was a little sketchy because he was coming from an air raid school, so I was like, is he gonna run the ball, But I talked to him. He was like, yeah, we're gonna run the ball. This is the Big Ten. Things of that nature. So yeah,
exactly. I feel like it's a common misconception. A lot of times, the air raid, it was usually that short pass kind of acted as the run game. But you kind of look at some of his West Virginia offenses where they average over 200 yards a game. Like it's take what the defense gives, and like especially like with the modern times, balance is going to win. Spread it out has won for a long time, but I feel like even more so nowadays. Like in the NFL, you saw the contracts for the running backs that were like running backs losing their value, and then all of a sudden you see guys like Saquon go to and be on a team like the Eagles and be the reason that they kind of won the Super Bowl, made it as far as they did. So I feel like as everything, there's always ebbs and flows. We're going to go extreme one way, but then the balance always comes back. And so I feel like it's going back to that. And one of the things about the Big Ten, it's always running the football. So is that something that you kind of liked about coming to the Big Ten, is just kind of there's going to be an investment in that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm a running back, so it kind of helps me out a little bit,
For sure.
So yeah.
What's one thing? What's the most underrated part of your game? Would you say that doesn't really stand out to people?
I can catch really well. I mean,
Yeah,
I think my team gonna use me a little bit more. OC's gonna use me a little bit more in the passing game this year, but like I didn't really have that much stuff on my film. But I like
hmm
to say my hands are certified. I can catch really well, in my
yeah,
opinion. So
yeah. One of the things
yeah,
I notice on your film is just like there's no really, you don't really make it horizontal. Even if you are making a guy miss in the open field, like you're constantly planting that foot and you're getting up.
yeah,
And you're getting vertical, getting north south, and that's something that I love in running backs because I feel like a lot of times like we got to the point where it's too much dancing around the line of scrimmage, too much instead of just like because as you know, if there's an opportunity, if there's a hole there, you got to attack it. Otherwise, it's going
hmm
to be closed as quickly as it
yeah,
opens. So one of the things I notice is like you see those openings very well. You can plant your foot, you can hit them, and you hit them with intensity. And I feel like you just keep your feet moving no matter what. Like even, you like I said, you can make guys miss, with a quick juke, but then you're planting that foot and you're going and you don't stop. Like you run through people, like if people are arm tackling you, whatever, you keep the feet driving. Is that a part of your game that you've kind of just really kind of, or was it something that came natural to you, or is that really part of what you wanted to focus on, is to being that runner that gets downhill quick and runs with conviction?
it comes natural now, but whenever I was younger, back when I really started, it was around 7 and 8. My dad he just used to work with me on those stuff, and he said those are the two things you got to do. You always got to move forward, and you always got to keep your feet moving no matter what. Because if you stop
100%.
your feet, you get tackled. So yeah,
Yep.
those
Eh,
some of the things we worked on when I was an early running back, new to football.
Yep.
Some of the basic stuff that I worked on. So yeah,
And it shows. That's what shows. I mean, and that's like you said, like your film doesn't have to show a whole lot because it shows that, and like that's something that people value, especially in the Big Ten. Downhill runners, one cut runners that can just plant that foot and go. So, Brian, do you want to, before
Yeah.
we bring anybody in here?
Yeah, I was wondering, like, I think you're a very physical, powerful running back. What's the objective once you get to Lincoln at Nebraska? Are they wanting to bulk you up to 215, 220? Are they wanting to keep you at around the 200 range? What's kind of their goal for you once you get to Lincoln?
I'm probably gonna get up to like around 220 that area. But I'm gonna put it on the right way because I don't want to put on weight for speed. I mean, yeah, put on weight and lose my
No
speed
speed.
because I need
Yeah.
my speed as a running back for sure. So I think they're gonna like put some weight on me, but I think my frame can handle it. I mean, I'm at like 210 right now, and I'm still,
Okay.
moving the same way. So like, I don't think 10 pounds, especially me getting older, me developing my body, developing. So I really don't think it's gonna make much of a difference. So yeah,
That training table is going to be your best friend then, I guess, right?
yeah, for sure.
Hey,
What is it
good.
about that training table that is different from what else you've seen? Because I've heard that training table, the whole area is just an absolute beautiful part of the facility.
Yeah, it's
Nope, just lost him.
Look at you. See, you scared him off. Ah, there we go. We got him back. Oh, hold on. We can't hear you. 1 second. We can't hear you. Maybe disconnected. Try back out and come back in. Try backing out and come back in. It may have reset his stuff.
Yeah.
Hold on. Try closing it out and coming back in. So back out and come back in. Let me see if I can put it in private chat.
Message him real quick.
Yeah.
Oh,
We'll get these technical difficulties solved, guys. There, I put it in the private chat for him to back out and come back in.
okay.
And then we'll pull up some of your calls here in just a second. Once we get them back in here. Let's see. Drop your comments if y'all have any questions though off rip. But let's see. We got them back.
There
Can
he is.
you hear us?
Yeah.
Am I good?
Yeah,
There
there
we
we go. Yeah,
I
stream
thought the training table is kind of like going to corral. Like you walk in, it's just like a full spread. They got the chefs in the back. Make anything you want. If you don't want the things that they have out, They got, it depends on breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They got French toast, waffles, really anything. They got like a little smoothie bar in the back, They got an ice cream machine. Never seen that, They got like a whole spread. So that I think that's one of the most things I'm excited for. I'm ready to eat whenever I get up there.
Yeah. That's nice. I think one of the another thing I want to just talk about is like the vibe between, it seems like the recruiting classes and we got Trey Taylor out here who's really peer recruiting and building a lot of relationships with a lot of the recruits in the upcoming classes. What is kind of that camaraderie like, not only with the team, if you're able to kind of see that as it currently is with Nebraska, but in terms of the recruiting class as a whole? Is that something y'all kind of keep in contact? Is that something that y'all talk pretty regularly?
Yeah, I really been talking with Emmett, the running back there now, and Trey Taylor. He's I'm sure y'all heard of him. He's a quarterback.
Oh yeah.
In the 20 class.
He was on our show about a month ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, me and him been talking because like whenever he found out I committed, he was like, we're gonna be in the backfield together most likely. It's good to have a bond between the quarterback and the running back. So yeah, we just started talking, getting to know each other a little bit.
Love that. And like, is that kind of the vibe of because seemed like over the last few years, this team has gotten a lot more family oriented, and it's a lot of just the culture building has just seemed to be like they're building it as a family vibe, and like everybody's, the parents of the recruits are also part of the family. Is that kind of the vibe you got when you went out to Lincoln?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a family environment. The players, the coaches, the players themselves, they're all, sometimes they get on each other, but that's just brotherly love, But yeah, it's definitely a family environment. Definitely.
No doubt.
I was up there.
All right.
Do you have a pregame routine?
A pregame routine? Well, yeah, I mean, I guess you could say so. I get ready, and then after that, before the game, my dad always tells me to step to the side, we pray, and I go back in, just put my headphones on, just get in that zone. And then after that, I go up to the training room, get my ankles taped, both left and right. I go out to the field, just walk around a little bit, get my body warm, especially if we're playing on like an opponent's field, like if it's an away game, I go out there, run up, slow down, accelerate and decelerate, just get my right footing, and after that, I just sit at the goalpost and just sit down and just look out for like a good 5 to 10 minutes. Then I go back in with the rest of my team. By that time, it's time to go back and go out, do pat and go, all that stuff. And then by then we're in the game, and then go time.
For sure. Have you tried runs or anything like that yet? I don't know why my camera went out.
Tried runs?
Runza? Oh, okay. Guess not. It's a thing out in Nebraska that they're definitely going to make you try. It is explain it, Brian.
We ask every recruit or player that's not from Nebraska the same question. It's like a really big hot pocket that's stuffed with like beef and cabbage and mushrooms and all this. And I think we talked to Trey about it, and he was like confused, like you are right now. Like, what the hell are you talking about?
I think he got a Runs a sponsored post, and he tried it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Cabbage don't get along.
Different meal.
Me and Cabbage don't get along, so that they lost me at that.
I'll put that on my to-do list to try that when they're up there.
They do chili and cinnamon rolls too out there, so yeah, it's weird. I know it's okay. You can say it's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
All right, we got Dan hopping in here, and Jamal. Let us know whenever you have to go. We don't want to be respectful of your time as well. So we're just gonna have a couple people call and see if they have any questions as well. So we're bringing in Dan. What's going on, Dan?
Hey, everybody! It's your favorite Ohio State Buckeye Dan. Yes, Buckeye Dan, as everybody calls me, the most hated OSU fan on this platform.
We welcome you here, buddy.
Let me ask you, how do you feel about Nebraska's offensive line since they're coming in, they're getting some recruits in, but also, in my opinion, it's going to help Nebraska out, especially when you guys got to play somebody like, a big time team like Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State, because when I've been watching Nebraska's offensive lineman film, it's like y'all been struggling at the tackle position, guard position, tight end position, when the tight end has to block for the quarterback when, in certain plays they have to. So I feel like, that's really going to help y'all, especially with the offensive line, but also tight end, like I mentioned, tight end. So that's just kind of my 2 cents I just wanted to say.
Yeah, this is probably more so a question for us. I don't know why my camera keeps cutting out, but with our offensive line, I would say the biggest thing. Oh, we lost Dan. Oh, okay, never mind. He's in the background. But anyway, with our offensive line, what I would say is kind of the biggest thing is our offensive line's been getting better, and that's the biggest thing. As I think for a while, the development wasn't there. Whenever Raiola came on as our offensive line coach. With offensive lines, one of the things that I say all the time is they're a unit. There has to be cohesiveness. There has to be camaraderie. So that's something that has to be built in those trenches. And so you can't patchwork an offensive line together. I think we've just seen the building of that offensive line. And I think now we're getting to a point where we're starting to see those younger guys that have kind of been developed, coming up and kind of going to be able to show those things this year. And the offensive line has just steadily improved. The tight end positions, there's been a whole lot of different type of players there, a lot of rotations, nobody really set in that. I wouldn't say we've had too much of an issue in terms of tight end. I think it was more so, with the constant injuries to Pedoni and stuff like that, making it to where hey, you there? Oh, all right, never mind. He popped out. But I think it's constant injuries making that, that rotation there, not really having any set player. I think Harburg's going to be a great addition at tight end and stuff like that too. So hopefully that answers your question there, Dan. But if you have any questions for Jamal, go ahead and call in now and ask the questions for us after. But Brian, do you have any more questions in the meantime? I got a couple more, but we got Mike hopping on. What's up, Mike?
Hey, how we doing?
Good. You got any questions for Jamal here?
I do. Actually, first, welcome to Husker Nation, Jamal. Glad to have you here.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I guess my first question for you is, if you're able to make it to Lincoln for a game this year, what game do you hope that it is? Like, do you have any specific ones that you'd want to come to, or?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I think it's definitely the Michigan one for sure.
That's what I was
that'll be a good one. That'll be a good one.
Yeah.
I got it. My next question for you is, what style of running do you like? Are you more of a between the tackles, or are you more of like bounce to the outside, or do you have a preference?
I mean, I like running in between the tackles. I just feel like everything is like, it's like a well-oiled machine, especially in the run game. I like, my favorite run play is power. So like seeing everything develop, sometimes it might be C and that turns into an outside run. Sometimes it might be A, you might have to make a dude miss, cut back inside, just get a little jiggy with it, Sometimes you might have to run somebody over, it's football. That's the fun of it, but
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all I had for you. Again, welcome to Husker Nation. Glad to have you here. Look forward to seeing you at a game this year.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, Mike.
Yep.
Hey, who would you say kind of you looked up to in terms of like running style, or is there any running backs that you kind of looked up to or look up to currently that you try to emulate?
Yeah. All right. Dalvin and Saquon, definitely. Those are my two right now.
Smart, man. That's two good ones to base it off of. You got one of the most consistent backs of all time, and then you got Saquon, who's just a freak in nature. So,
I still can't believe he got that backwards.
Nah.
Yeah, that was insane.
Yeah, that's absurd. Like, I don't think not only the awareness, but just being able to get up like that.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
Would you rather hurdle a player or just truck them?
I'd rather truck him.
I imagine that's got to be one of the most satisfying things on a football field, just absolutely running somebody over.
It is, especially like whenever you run them over and you just like continue like at that same like pace, like you just run them over and just
Run
keep.
through 'em.
It's it's very satisfying, especially hearing like the crack and then you hear everybody going like ooh in the stands and the sideline. Yes, it's amazing.
I gotta send Jamal. I don't know if you saw this, but Anthony Grant against Rutgers a few years back down the sideline, he literally knocked a man unconscious. He hit him so hard, and it was like they were, no matter what, he was going to go out of bounds. But he's like, am I going to like lay this dude out before I do, or am I just going to step out? And I'm gonna have to send you the video of that, because we did interview Anthony Grant afterwards. But I'm gonna have to send you the video of that. You're gonna have to replicate that on the field.
Yeah, I got to see that.
What was your, like, I guess, what was your favorite moment, I guess, so far in your career then, play wise, or just, you know, what is the moment that like you made a play and you're like, you look back on that still to this day?
Okay, I'll give you two. One is whenever I was 9 years old and I was playing for the York Bears. It was 4th down and like really long, and it was supposed to be an outside run, but the dude got outside containment and I had to cut back inside. And then like I tried to cut across the field, but somebody tripped me and I kept like, I was stumbling, and then somebody came to hit me and it popped me back up and I ran for a touchdown. That was probably one of my most favorite plays. I still go back on YouTube and watch that like
Oh, it's on YouTube?
Yeah.
All right. Wait, you're gonna have to send me that one then. I'll send you the other one. You're gonna have to send me that one, because I want to pull that up.
I think that's number one. And number two, I'll say probably this year, whenever I took whenever I had a cast on and I went to the left side and then somebody bounced off of me and then I was going out of bounds, but I chucked the dude and then I knocked his helmet off. That was
with the cast?
Yeah. I was forgetting in that game. Like every time I would go to the left side, I would forget to have the cast on and put the ball in that hand. And then like I would break a tackle and then like switch the ball.
Yeah, that's funny. That is funny. Yeah. No, we if you can find that or you send it over, we're gonna have to pull that up one day for sure. Brian, go ahead.
I'm out of questions. I was hoping we'd have some calls coming in. So.
I can put more people on here to see if they want to call in as well, because I got a few more questions. I mean, I could ask questions all day, but I just want to make sure nobody else wants to get their questions in here first. What is the thing you're most excited about, I think, playing for Nebraska? You know,
that first game when I go out and see like all the fans. Definitely.
It's crazy. It's crazy on a Saturday game day, full day, especially if you come out to the Michigan game. Like, because I'll probably be flying out for that one. I'm from Texas originally. My dad was from Nebraska, so most of my family is there. So I go out there every year for a game because most of them are still out there. So I'll be out there for that Michigan one too. So that game's gonna be crazy though. Especially if it's you got Raiola going against Bryce Underwood. That'll be a fun one.
That's gonna be.
Actually made it, almost had a heat stroke. Boneled, what the heck? How you Boneled? You gonna casually drop in and say you almost had a heat stroke? All right, so if y'all want to call in, we're gonna give a few more minutes. If y'all want to call in and ask Jamal some questions, for the sake of time. If not, we'll let him rock and roll here and get rolling. Jamal, I think the biggest thing that one of the questions that I have for modern recruits especially is how crazy is it with the NIL? Like, how crazy is recruiting with NIL? Like, it's probably become a lot of the wild west, I'm sure. But is it like, and I know you don't have an idea of what, you know, recruiting was like pre-NIL, but I don't know if you've kind of heard, you know, what is it like? Is it just kind of overwhelming, you know, constantly getting numbers and stuff thrown at you, or is it kind of on the inside is a little bit more simplistic than it seems to us and just chaotic on our side?
Yeah, I mean, coming into it, I thought it was going to be a lot more hectic than what it was. But yeah, it's really, it's just like, it just seems hectic because it's like large numbers for like teenagers, but it's really not that bad, really. Like, especially Yeah, it's really not that bad, and I'm sure if I understood, y'all understand too.
Yeah, because I've always thought that, because I'm like, it does seem like, but when you're in the situation and kind of more in control of it, like it's a little different. But I feel like on our outside looking in, we're not in any control over it, so it seems just chaotic to us because we're just trying to keep up with every little move that happens in recruiting.
I did have a question just pop up.
Yep.
You've seen like the pictures with Coach Rule and the other recruits like jumping off the tractor and the bowl in the weight room. Was there anything weird or unique like that when you visited? Because I think you visited the first week in June, if I'm not mistaken.
Wait. No.
Or was it the 13th? Were you there when they did the tractor thing?
It was the third. Yeah, it was the 13th. Yeah. Oh, we had the tractor. It was awesome.
That was cool, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was great. You know,
it's like the ultimate Nebraska like stereotype. So I love that Coach Rule is kind of embracing it because it's who we are as Nebraskans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I was talking to somebody on X about it that posted like, what is the allure of this? I was like a coach who has fun, and has fun with his players, and like to me, like that's how it helps recruiting. It's like it's less about like, oh, it's a John Deere in a field. It's more about like we're gonna go out, cut up, and have fun.
Yeah.
And I feel like in a way Matt Rule plays into that. Like I feel like Dylan Raiola plays into the Patrick Mahomes stuff, a lot, just because people talk about it, and I feel like that's just kind of. So I feel like Matt Rule in a very similar, like, because then he brought the cow in the locker room, the bull in the locker room.
Yeah.
So I feel like they just play into that stuff too.
Yeah.
So, all right, Jamal. So if we don't get any more call-ins, I didn't want to keep you past the 30-minute mark, just so, like I said, we can be gracious with your time. But do you have a message for the fans or anything like that, or any questions for us before we let you go?
No, I'm pretty good. Just remember the name. That's all I'm gonna say.
100%. Yeah. And we appreciate you coming on, man. I'll send you that Anthony Grant video, and we'll be in touch. Maybe we can get you back on, but man, again, thank you so much for being on. We look forward to seeing you on the field as a Husker, and we'll be rooting for you every step of the way. So.
All right. Thank y'all for having me. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Take care, brother.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
What a great kid.
Yeah, he's nice, man. Super nice kid. You can tell he just like when he talks about football, he lights up too.
Mm-hmm.
He gets that smile going. That's how you can tell a man loves running the football. He's talking about going between the tackles, and he starts smiling.
Oh, yeah, he was grinning, and then he was like, "You gotta get jiggy with it a little bit."
Yeah, you can tell he likes it. Actually, made almost had a heat stroke. Bone Lad, I hope you're okay, brother. I hope you did.
My wife actually had a patient today that had a heat stroke.
It's getting rough out here on these streets, man.
Bone Lad, were you my wife's patient today?
I know it was 117 last Thursday out here. So
that's brutal.
Yeah.
I'll be interviewed with in Houston. Her power went out in the middle of my interview.
Not surprising. Yeah, I was telling my wife it goes out all the time back home because I was looking at those Tesla power walls. But do you think Runza or Valentino's will become a favorite? If I had to pick for him, I think it'll be Valentino's. Go Big Red, Jamal. All right. So if any of y'all want to call in, go ahead. We got the link there. I don't know where Dan ended up. I think he lost connection, and then Dan disappeared. So I'm going to drop the link one more time, just in case y'all were scared to talk to Jamal. We got it rocking and rolling. So go ahead and but do you want to give any updates on recruiting, Brian, while we're here in the meantime?
Well, I did it. I put in my crystal ball.
I saw that. Do you want to put it out here?
Or
for the ones that aren't on the Twitterverse?
Yeah, I put it in for Claude Mapuma, and it's based on a hunch. I want to stress that too, because a lot of times when I put those out, I'm getting word, and it's very definitive usually. That's why I'm pretty confident when I put them out. Florida got a commit from their 5th offensive lineman today. They have 3 tackles in their recruiting class, and I firmly believe it's obviously at this point down to Nebraska and Auburn for Claude or Claude. The big question here is because Nebraska doesn't have a tackle in their class, potentially. It depends on what they do with Hayden Ainsworth. And Auburn does have a tackle, and he's a projected left tackle as well. So that's what my hunch is based on. It's just the obvious public information. So I will admit, though, I'm not very confident. I'm just going on a hunch.
I think my camera's dying and going in and out. So I'm gonna let it just load up for a second, and y'all can just look at this dark screen because I guess I'm gonna work in the dark too. She's not the
Yeah,
only
my
one.
wife works in the dark.
Now I am apparently. No, so with who else? Oh my gosh, I'm sorry to draw a blank on
Chris's comment.
what do you say? Special distance
I'm
looked on
sorry.
video. I appreciate that, man. Thank you, man. Chris, you know, it's all love. I know it's all love from him. Anything else though on the recruiting up and coming? Any news? Any notes?
Oh, nothing really. I mean, with the dead period, it's going to be pretty quiet. I think I posted it on X. If Claude Day ends up at Auburn, I think Nebraska's going to go full bore ahead with getting Javion Cooper flipped from Syracuse. He had a really good visit. By all accounts, Nebraska's probably in the lead for a flip on him. Like if he were to flip, it would be probably to Nebraska. The Flow-Braska movement's huge. There is some smoke that Devin Jackson might be announcing sometime soon. If he does, the sooner the better, because the longer it plays out, the more I worry about Oregon. Now, I do have a pick in for Devin to be a Husker, but the longer it plays out, the more likely I think he's going to Oregon or stays home at Miami or Florida. But he just visited last week, so if we get that decision quick, that'd be ideal. Claude's announcements on Monday. You should see the Nayland Scott commitment probably tomorrow or Saturday or Sunday. I mean, it should be very soon. And then July 1st, which is what? Is that on Tuesday?
Yes. Wait, it's a
Tuesday.
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 Correct.
That's when you should see Nebraska land Larry Miles Jr., 4-star receiver from Miami. He's the one that went viral in that Cam Ward video, actually. That pre-draft workout where Cam Ward was like, I want to play with that dude someday. That's who he was playing with. Throw him to. So.
Gotcha. Okay, so we got that figured out. 1 second here. Calling in a few. Mike, appreciate it. Go Big Red, Husker Power. I'm really trying to load this up here because I wanted to talk about it, and it's not loading for me. So
Technology and stuff.
I know. I might have to make a. I got a question here to Zion Robinson. How do you feel about that whole debacle? I feel like everybody was getting on him for the Twitter engagement crap.
Oh yeah, he was clip farming or whatever you want to call it.
100%.
That's exactly what he was. He was farming likes and followers.
Even Trey had talked about that down in the little thing.
Yeah. It happens all the time with recruits. They know our fan base is like the most active on X or Instagram or whatever. It was 100% subscriber or follower farming. That's exactly what it was.
Yes.
He was never coming to Nebraska. Someone messaged me on X and they're like, are we getting him? Because they're seeing the same thing you're talking about. And I was like, absolutely not.
No.
Like it's Michigan or Stanford at that point.
Yeah.
And then I didn't engage with it because I was like, this is totally BS.
I don't either. I don't know why people still fall for that. Even Trey responded to it. He's like, this is how people felt when I did it. You see that? He even responded on it.
I don't think Trey ever was like, yo, Illinois fans,
No, he
what
wasn't.
up? Like he was never like that.
He wasn't. That's why I think somebody ended up telling him. So what's going on, Mike?
Not much. Hey, sorry, I had to deal with something real quick. That's why I left earlier.
You're right. A-okay, brother. What's going on?
So I won't name names as to who it was, but I'm sure y'all can figure it out. For the video, there was a video posted earlier today on YouTube that apparently our OC is gone after this year. Just kind of want you guys' thoughts on if that were to happen. Who does Rule have in his bag of coaches that he tries to recruit here?
First off, that's
Dana Holgerson leaving after this year.
Even if that,
Mike, I will buy you a year subscription to whatever recruiting site you want if that happens.
and even if it did, nobody knows about it now. Like it's one of those things that's like, I feel like if it happened, they'd be like, I told you so, but like none of that would happen right now.
Well, they're basing it off of the fact that he's only 53, that he's going to basically be a hot commodity, you know, if he turns our offense and stuff around and whatnot, is what they're basing it off of.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I think Rule in Nebraska, if this season goes the way Matt Rule wants it to, I think they're going to do whatever they can to make sure they give Holgerson enough money where he's going to stay. Because I don't think Holgerson wants to be a head coach. I think he wants to be an OC right now. I think
Yeah, I agree. The only thing that worries me, and maybe there's a reason for it, the only thing that worries me is he has not moved his family or anything here. It's just him that's here right now, and he literally lives in like a studio apartment, like on, I don't know, down in Haymarket or something.
Yeah, I don't think
Let me ask you this, Mike. Who's he supposed to move here?
I don't think that's very uncommon. Yeah.
Isn't he married, or am I completely out of left field on that?
No.
Yeah, he's a
Oh,
single
okay. I
guy.
thought
And
he was.
his kid's like 20.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
So, like,
okay. For some reason, I thought he was married. My bad.
No. And so like that's the thing too. Like that's not uncommon for guys in that situation, especially early on. And then if not, like if they do kind of extend him further, then he may, look into that. But I think like all of that is like we could point to a lot of things and be like, this could be why, this could be why. But I don't think anything's indicating him leaving. But I see kind of context clues if you're trying to piece those together.
Yeah. See, I thought for some reason he was married and stuff, and I was like, oh, if his family and stuff's not here, maybe that's a red flag. But that makes sense now.
Yeah, and another thing too, it's like that's one of the reasons why kind of I hate videos like that where it's just speculation based,
right?
Because like that's how rumors like eventually get started, and that's like that's the only reason like why we stay away from speculation videos here. But yeah, so no, I did not see that. But thank you for bringing that up. That is very interesting.
Yes, and then kind of a switch of topics here. But are we looking at the downfall or the start of the downfall of Penn State wrestling with the new allegations and stuff that are coming out?
Man, it's going to be tough. Like the thing about Penn State wrestling is like there are powerhouses, but like being a powerhouse enough to overcome like something like that, especially in the short term, that's going to be very, very difficult. So
well, right, and especially since they've already had not necessarily the same, but kind of, I guess, similar with different coaches and stuff that have already happened that they've gotten repercussions for. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting turn on how that plays out.
That's the thing, the hit to the brand as a whole, because like it's the second instance of something like negative like this, and you have the impact to the Penn State brand as a whole. Like, does this kind of bring that back out to and then people just start, and then the brand of Penn State suffers, and then every sport may suffer because of that. That's a real legitimate question there, because especially in the world of social media, like you see how quickly brands are to drop sponsors of like the highest level athletes for an allegation, because that's how much it negatively impacts their brand. Think about that now. A level like this where you can't get rid yourself from it. Like that is your school, that is marked to your school, tied to your school. That's a tough one.
Well, and for one of his teammates that, I mean, to come out and basically say that he knows exactly what the people are talking about and all that, that's big too, like they're brothers basically,
They should be kicked out of the Big Ten.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a systemic problem for Penn State.
Yep.
Like it goes past Sandusky because they've had other crap before.
Failure at the top. This is from the top on down.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's all I had. Gentlemen. I will hang up and listen to what you guys have to say.
Appreciate you, Mike. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah. Thank you guys for doing this. Have a good night.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother.
You think that probably helps our chances landing Mr. Blank on that wrestler's name? We talked about him Tuesday. Ferrari.
Yeah, Ferrari. No, you're talking about. Oh my gosh, hold on.
Where's Joseph? Joseph, save us.
Pull up my notes. There was two.
But so because Penn State was one of his finalists, you got to imagine he's like, I am not touching that. And then it's down to Nebraska and OK State, which he visited there, not here. But I think we might be able to get some NIL for him.
So it's the other guy though. AJ Ferrari's already at Nebraska. It's the other guy.
Right. Bo.
Bo. Yeah, that's it. Bo Bassett. That's
Thank you, Comey.
I was like, who the hell was it? I had him on my damn notes. Yeah, between us and Penn State and Oklahoma State. So yeah, you would think that does put a put a big black eye there. And then too, like, how does Penn State handle that on the recruiting side? That gets real dicey there. That gets real dicey there.
The problem too is I haven't read a ton about it. I've just kind of glazed through it. But is there coach involved, or like obviously he's aware of what's happening? You'd imagine, right?
I think it's one of those things where like the coach is kind of complicit in it by, even if it doesn't have direct knowledge of it, complicit in it by allowing, stuff to happen. Like, and I feel like it's very hard to not be locked into everything that's going on,
Yeah.
Especially when you run a tight knit program like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's really difficult. That's a really good question actually, because I haven't had time to really think on that, because I did see the stuff, but I haven't really thought about like how much it would impact, their entire brand, and it could trickle over to football and all that.
Yeah,
I don't know if it will.
Coach get fired. You might have players leave. Yeah, I mean, it could be huge.
They could get hit with scholarship losses. But they probably won't hit them with it in football. But just in terms of if they wanted to hit them where it hurts, they could get them financially, all that shit. So let's see. Women are wild creatures too, Mike. So it's not uncommon. Get up, Rudies. Throwing out a BS to get attention. Surprise. Bo Bassett. Love that my comment been labeling the bottom. Which one? What did I have the one up about me being ugly? How will it affect NIL places won't want to donate? Yeah, people won't want to go there. People won't want to donate. Yeah, 100%. All right. So if y'all want to call in, we're going to leave this up for a little bit longer. We ought to call in. Again, this is a fan-driven show, so we're waiting on y'all to come help us drive it, because this will easily turn into 2 live streams if we don't. Just 2 live streams. So we're going to give it a couple more minutes here, give you an opportunity to call in. Brian, I was going to ask you, we did a something on Generation Red on Tuesday, so I'm curious your take. Who and we'll see if it matches mine. We did the player, a coach, an offensive player, and a defensive player that need to step up. In this coming season, like for Nebraska to be successful, whether it be somebody who was already stepped up or not. Like I kind of took it on, like needs to step up, like just however you perceive that. One offensive, one defensive, one coach.
One coach on each side, or just one coach in general?
One coach in general. I'm echoing, so before you do that, just back out. Come back in. Let's try this again. Hopefully this will be the last time it echoes, guys, because usually it's twice a stream. That was the second time, so let's see. All right.
Okay. One coach, one player, offense, defense. Okay, I'm going to go Satterfield for the coach, for obvious reasons, I think.
Mine was Addison Williams.
Okay.
Just because as a DB room, I think with John Butler giving that DB room up to him, and then also I feel like our secondary we're going to have a very attacking front, in my opinion. I think our secondary is going to have to be able to take a lot of that load to be able to do what we want to do up front. And also a lot of new pieces. That room's been kind of beat up and hasn't been the best over the last few years. So go ahead.
Yeah. I was also going to suggest Terry Braden, but I wanted to give him some leeway because he's new. But I think that'd probably be the biggest one for me, just with that position group. One offensive player that has to step up, I am going to say Elijah Pritchett, because we need a bookend left tackle.
That's a good one.
We need to protect Dylan, and he has all the potential in the world. He just hasn't put it together on a consistent basis, and that's why you need a bookend left tackle. And then on defense, I'm going to say
hold on. First, I went with Quinn Ives as my offensive player naturally, because we need him to step up, and
that's
for obvious reasons. Secondly, I need him to step up because I've been vouching for him, so he's got to do good this year.
Yeah,
to have my back.
On defense, I'm going to say Elijah Judy, because this is going to be the most extensive action he has seen his entire career. He's been a rotational guy playing 15 to 20 snaps at most. And now he's going to be, with how little depth there is at defensive tackle, he's going to be almost an every down defensive tackle for Nebraska. And he's going to play 40 snaps a game probably. So he needs to be able to step up in the run game in particular. I'm not worried about his pass rush, even though he's pretty decent, because we'll get that from other sources.
Yeah, mine was the interior defensive line.
Perfect. Yeah,
exactly.
The whole group is really
exactly. Whoever's there needs to step up. Yeah, because I was kind of curious on that, because I was thinking next time we could do our five something most important on offense, most important on defense, but some kind of spin on it. I think that'd be fun. But I was just curious on that one.
Caveats of no quarterbacks.
Women, yeah, exactly. Women are wild creatures for 2 minutes. I can't call in today, boys. Leaned against the fridge with my feet on the microwave with only the phone. What?
Did he just have a stroke while typing that?
Leaned against the fridge with my feet on the microwave with only the phone, no tablet today. Did you try to microwave your feet? Is that what you're telling us?
I was imagining, because my microwave is above my stove.
I feel like knowing Chris, he's just saying shit. Oh, he's on watch. He's on watch. That's why. Oh, got it. I live in Iowa, unfortunately, but I enjoy. He's still in the military. That's what he means by on watch. I live in Iowa, unfortunately, but I enjoy yelling "Go Big Red" everywhere I go, and boy, the looks I get. You know, it's funny. Every time I see a Nebraska shirt, I yell "Go Big Red" out here, and for the first time, somebody didn't yell it back, and I was like, "Are you a Nebraska fan?" They're like, "No, I'm just wearing the shirt," and I'm like, "This is awkward." Now I don't know what to say. I'm like, "Oh, I'm a Nebraska fan," and then it's just like, "Oh, cool. Okay, bye."
Everywhere I go, someone yells like "Go Big Red," but I never do it. And my wife's like, "Why don't you say it?" She'll always point it out too. She'll be like, "Go Big Red." Like, aren't you gonna say anything? I'm like, no, I'm too socially awkward to do
Bro,
this.
I'll yell it across the parking lot. If I see somebody with a Husker hat on, shirt on, I yell it across the parking lot. I got no shame. So, all right. Well, if we're not going to get any more calls in, we're going to wrap the show. So if y'all call in the meantime, we will go ahead and take your call. But if not, we're going to go ahead and conclude the show today. So, main point, wanted to get Jamal on here to be able to come and talk to y'all. We got some more of that planned up for y'all. We're going to try to get some more people on here to talk to y'all as well. Again, I'm going to have Kai Nelson's dad coming on here probably next week. I think I want to get on, try to record with him next week. So that way we can get a taste for a little bit of what Makai's bringing and stuff like that. He's also a fan of the show, so definitely want to bring him on and kind of have him talk to y'all as well. So, but yeah, y'all stay tuned for everything we got going on. Brian, of course, is giving all the recruiting updates, and he's dropping videos whenever we get a commitment or anything of the such. So y'all be able, be sure to turn your what are that called? The bell icon, whatever that is. Notifications. Turn those on. Notifications. Turn those on. I was like the subscriptions, but I was like, it's not a subscription. But subscribe to the channel if you're not. Drop a like on the stream. You guys should try to get Matt Rule on. I'm sure it's very difficult, but
we do have a coach coming on. That was my news today.
Yeah, we'll try. We'll try Matt Rule. But yeah, step one.
I have confirmed with the coach he will come on. He told me to submit through Keith Mann, so I sent it to Keith Mann. I'm waiting for Keith to approve it for us. So we will have a coach coming on. I'm not saying who until Keith Mann approves it.
The man. So whenever the man approves it, y'all will know first. So if y'all get us on X, me at _H Husker, him at KC Husker 24. Thoughts on the new play-by-play guy? Really, I've really looked into it much.
His voice is incredible.
Yes.
For someone that went to school for sports broadcasting, I'm telling you right now, guys, it's going to be a beautiful sound in your eardrums on a Saturday evening.
You know what? That's one of the main compliments I got when I got into podcasting was I have a good radio voice. So
you do.
I wish I was born 20 years earlier, and maybe then I would have been on radio. Now nobody cares about radio.
Could do some late night rock.
Welcome into Smooth Jams with Justin.
Yes, just like that.
That's what I'm going to do. That's how I'm going to do a post game, the entire show like that. No, but all right. So we didn't get any calls in after that. So again, I hope y'all enjoyed the show. We're able to get Jamal on for y'all to talk a little bit, ask him some questions, introduce him to the fan base. If y'all didn't get a chance to see that, rewind it. First 30 minutes we had him on. So go ahead and check that out. Probably clip that, maybe turn it into a video to put on the channel as well. But Brian, anything that you got coming up that you want to put out to the people?
Well, you'll see on Monday if what I think is going to happen happens, and you'll see on Tuesday if what I think is going to happen happens. So you need to turn the bell on.
Turn the bell on. Get ready for that. And, when you do see it, drop a like, leave a comment, let Brian know what you think on his videos. And, let me pop these up one more time. Hold on. Just before I forget, follow him. Also, he's doing crystal balls at that location, KC Husker 24. He's putting his crystal balls on there. So if y'all want to stay tuned for that, go ahead and follow him over there. With that being said, that is it for the show here. We will see y'all on Tuesday, 6 p.m. Central. And again, we'll be back here for the Husker Gutter Call-In Show Thursday at 7 p.m. Central. So we will see y'all next time.